So welcome everybody to this session on linked open data in Primo V. This is Yoel Kortic, Senior Librarian at Ex Libris, and we're joined today also by Seema Bloch from Primo Product Management. Welcome, Seema, and thank you for joining us. I will begin sharing my screen here, and just a few brief administrative comments before we jump in. This is part of the ALMA 2024 Roadmap Webinar Series. The 2024 Roadmap Webinar Series has been going on since the beginning of 2024, and I know I've already said this twice, but today is our last session on the 2024 Roadmap Webinar Series. We said that twice already, and then additional very interesting topics, which we just couldn't resist adding to the series, came along. So this is our 9th session now. On this page here, which I'm assuming everybody has because I saw that the majority of the registrations came from here, and I'm sending it out in the chat now so you've got it. On this page, we've got the accompanying resources that go along with the presentations and a link to the YouTube recording. So all of these have already completed, and you have all of the material here if you want to look again. And today we're on our 9th and last session using linked open data in Primo V. Again, the accompanying resources are here. Feel free to take them. And after today's session, either tonight or tomorrow morning, our time, we will have the link here, and we will send out a notification to the Alma list that the recording is there. No need to fear that this is our last session. What are we going to do? We've already started planning the 2025 Roadmap webinar series, and we already have our first session scheduled on the Primo V Mixed Panel User Engagement Analytics. So stay tuned for that. Then we've got some more sessions planned there. The AI Metadata Assistant and the Metadata Editor, Network Zone Managed Electronic Resources. We've done a lot of changes there. Negotiations and transformative agreements. We've made some changes to the authority records matching and linking. So 2025 Roadmap Webinar Series is ready to go. And one final comment, all of this you can also get on the Ex Libris YouTube channel. So I'm going to send out in the chat, just in case anybody doesn't have it, a link to the Ex Libris YouTube channel. And for example, within this Ex Libris YouTube channel, you can get here, by the way, if you're in YouTube, all you need to do is search for Ex Libris. Now, there happens to be a lot of Ex Librises in YouTube, but there's only one Ex Libris that we're concerned with, and that is this Ex Libris. So within here, within the Ex Libris YouTube channel, there's a section here on the playlists. And for example, there's a playlist of the ALMA 2024 Roadmap Webinar Series here. Maybe some of you have attended the Network Zone Consortia Webinar Series. But in any case, all of the playlists are here, and you can come in here and see all of the different sessions. Okay, so that covers our administrative material, and now we're ready to jump in. The way we're going to structure this is I am going to talk for the first approximate 50 minutes, or let's say 45 minutes, because we're already, we've already 5 minutes in. Then Seema is going to talk about the upcoming developments. If any of the questions which come in before Seema speaks will relate to what Seema will speak, then we will say Seema will be speaking about that. And if not, we'll answer the questions as they come. So feel free to send in your questions and comments in the chat as we go along. Okay, so we will briefly look at the presentation, then we're going to jump right into Alma. So maybe some of you were in a session we did back in the first half of 2024 on the link data info card in Alma. And when we gave that session, I said, we're adding this to Primo and we're going to do another session on Primo. And here we are now doing another session on Primo. So this has been in, Seema, correct me if I'm wrong, since May 2024.
Yes, the major release of the person entity was on May.
Yeah. So since May 2024, we've had it in here. It's gone through some minor changes as we've gone along. The whole purpose of the link data, like we mentioned when we did the session on ALMA, is for two primary reasons. One, to be able to get more information on, in this case, a person. And the other is to do crawling. That's the official non-technical term. When we say crawling, we mean I find a record by Gloria Steinem, for example. I see that there's 600 fields. In the case of Library of Congress names, it's also about another person or authored by another person. So then that additional material appears. Someone can go click on that, and they start crawling or moving around from one entity to another entity, finding things which they otherwise in a standard search would not have encountered. So we're just going to look at the introduction here, then we're going to jump right in. So that's what we said now. It allows us to see additional information about either the person who authored the work or a contributor to the work, or a person about whom the work is, or what the work is about that person. And then the person can, the user, the end user, can crawl from entity to entity. Within Primo V, we have a person info card and a person page displaying the link data. And we're going to see both of those. And we can get to those entities, the person info card or the person page, either when viewing the full view of the record or within the autocomplete. And we'll talk about what that autocomplete is. We'll talk about what configurations are necessary, etc. So let's jump right in. All of this I already stated, and no need to look at the PowerPoint. So the first thing is configuration. There are two very basic configurations to set up, and these will be changing very shortly, and I will point that out what will be changing. But the names of the entities, if we come to configuration, I click configuration on the bottom left. And if we come to discovery, other, customer settings, there are two parameters here. We can find these parameters if we search for person underline. We'll see both of them. So we have enable person entity autocomplete and enable person entity info card. Both of these are defined as true, and that's the only configurations that are necessary. Now, this will be changing in a future release. Right now, the way this is defined, because I did this, as you can see, it says on top here, configuring Alma University. This configuration right now is on the level of the entire institution. That means all of the Primo views within that institution will inherit these definitions. However, in the future, Seema, if you want to state exactly when or that's tentatively planned for, feel free. We will be moving this to the Primo views. When I say to the Primo views, that means, for example, if somebody were to come to discovery and go to the configuration views and choose a specific view, it will be possible here on the level of the view to make that definition. Then you can have one view which will use the link data that we'll see and another view that will not use the link data that we want to see. Do you want to add anything on that, Seema?
Yes, sure. The view level setup, the new enhancement was planned for the first quarter of the next year, but we were able happily to implement it earlier, and it is going to be part of December release.
Wow.
Good news.
December, less than 2 months away. All right, so we have something to look forward to. Okay, so let's jump right in. The way it works here is this, by the way, is an info card, and there is a link between the Library of Congress authority record that is linked to the bibliographic heading and the Wikidata article. We're going to see exactly how that works, but first, just to get a taste of what this is, before we actually get into the nitty-gritty, as we say. I'm going to do a couple of searches here, just so we see what we're talking about. So, for example, I'm going to say she wore a white scarf. I'm going to do a search here in the library catalog, though that really doesn't matter. So I find a record here by Maxine Trottier called The Long White Scarf. I'm going to go look at that record here briefly in Alma. She wore a white scarf. So if we come in here to this record in Alma, and I'm in the new all title search, by the way. So I see here, let's actually go look at this in the metadata editor. So we'll be able to see which headings are and are not linked. So here, okay, there we go. We see here that we have Maxine Trottier as a authority record. I use LC names. We're going to talk more about that in a moment. And I've also got Craig David also as an author. Linked to a Library of Congress authority record, Library of Congress names. We're going to go into the details soon. So here, when I come onto the full view, I see both of those. Both of those info cards. This is the info card, the person info card. Now, for Craig David, I don't see information until I click the Show More. When I click on one of these, this Trottier Maxine, for example, I get to the person info page, which is giving me, in this case, information from Wikipedia. And it's also giving me other titles in the library from this author, and also giving me people associated. Now, notice Craig David is associated with Maxine Trottier. All of these authors on the bottom here are contributors to other records for which, in our case, Maxine Trottier is the author. And we're going to see the details of that soon. But I just want to put this out there so people see what's going on. Let's look at another example. We're going to look at 4 examples. Then we're going to go in depth to see how is the whole system working. So here, I'm going to do another simple search. We'll say, she did not tell me when her birthday is, and now I'll fix all my spelling. Okay. And that looks all fixed. I'll search for that in the library catalog. Okay, so again, we've got a record here, Merwin W.S. Stanley. Let's get that one here also. And so we can see here what's going on, edit records. So what do we see here? Again, we got the full view. Again, we have 2 person info cards. Again, here we need to click Show More Info. Now notice for Andrew Rush, we have the source, but we don't have the born, the died, and the occupation, which are coming, by the way, from the authority record. And we're going to see how and where they're coming from the authority record. And if I click now on the word W.S. Merwin, I will see information about him with the article from Wikipedia, a link to see more in Wikipedia, more biographical information, titles in the library by W.S. Merwin, titles in the library about W.S. Merwin. So here he would be the 600 field, a name in the subject category about him. The classic we always point to for that is Shakespeare. I know a work can be by Shakespeare or about Shakespeare. So here we have titles by W.S. Merwin, titles about W.S. Merwin. Then people associated with those would be contributors, people who are typically in a 700 field in a Library of Congress name, in a same work which is by William Stanley Merwin. This can also come not only if I'm searching from the simple search, but for example, if I come to the advanced search. Let's say, for example, I was searching for the Gagiell. One moment, please, while I spell this out. Jagiellonian University, famous university in Krakow. And I'll also search for a creator, famous archaeologist, Eudoxia. So now I'm in the advanced search, and any of these records will answer, of course, this query. And if we come in here, I've got one info card for the archaeologist, Eudoxia Papuchki Wladika. And this will bring me then to the info card. Notice here, we don't have an article. We're going to see why we don't have an article here. We don't have an article here from Wikidata, and we're going to see why. Then I've got titles by. There are no works about this archaeologist, so we don't have about, and we have people associated with, which are contributors in these works. So until now, we've shown that we've arrived to those info cards via the full view. And then from the info card, we went to the person page by clicking the name of the person. The autocomplete we can also use. For example, now I'm going to search for a famous Polish national poet, Wisława Szymborska. So I've got two Wisławas here, a Polish historian and the Polish poet. So here, if I click now on this autocomplete, if you recall, when we looked at the configurations at the beginning, we had two configurations, one for autocomplete, one for the person info card. Until now, we showed the person info card. Now we're going to the autocomplete. So when I click here, it brings me right to the person info card. I skipped the whole part about first getting to the info card and then from the info card getting to the person page. Now I'm at the person page directly from the search. And here again, we have titles in the library by Wisława Szymborska. Then we have the titles in library written about Wisława Szymborska. For example, if we were to look at A Chorus for Peace, a Global Anthology. So this is about, so we say A Global Anthology, Chorus for Peace. So this appeared now as about Szymborska Wyglorsa, Wisława Szymborska. And that's because here it's a 600. I'll make this a little larger so everyone can see. It's a 600 subject name, subject added entry, personal name. So it's about. And that's why it appears here as about. If I take now people associated with Szymborska Wyglorsa, let's take, for example, Harriet Rommel Mullen, Harriet Rommel. So if we come here and we say, I don't think I spelled that the exact same way. 2 R's and 2 T's, excuse me. We'll put in another R here. And we've got 1 M and 2 L's. All right. That will cut it. So here we've got ones about Harriet Rommel. These are by Harriet Rommel. And at least one of these, let's go in here, American writer. So between the cracks, sleeping with the dictionary. That's an interesting one. Sleeping with the dictionary. So these are associated with sleeping with the dictionary. These are associated with, or contributors associated with the Polish poet, because one record will contain both of those authors, one in a 600 or a 700 and one in a 100. Okay, let's now start getting into the details. I'm just going to stop for one moment. All of that was just an introduction, just to see what is the person info card, what is the person page. Now we're going to see how is it all working behind the scenes. So I'm going to look at the chat here. Let's see if we got any questions. And okay, so someone asked, so we have to go to configuration and set the autocomplete and include. Yes. Someone asked, so we have to go to the configuration and set the autocomplete and info card parameters to true before we can see this in Primo. That is correct. It won't by default appear. That, by the way, on a development level or a product management level or a feature usage level, is something we usually do. There are exceptions, because when a new feature comes out, we want people on the one hand to continue working the same way they're working without an interruption and suddenly see something else. On the other hand, we want to encourage adoption of the new features. Here, though, we didn't just put it in so all of a sudden one day you'll see the person info card and be, what is this? You need to define it. Someone asked, so if the 100, 600, 700 tags in our bib records matches LC authorities, the linking happens automatically? Not exactly. And that's what we're going to look at now. This will happen. The person asks this, and I know you don't see each other's questions, and that's on purpose. One of the privacy related things. Person asks this question, and I'm going to open a Word document now anyway, because I want to start recording what we're going to be seeing. So here, this will happen if one of these matches the LC authorities. In fact, I'll answer right here. This will happen if the authority record contains an identifier which is in a Wikidata article for the same person. And now we're going to see what I'm talking about. So let's say, for example, now, I'm going to go do a search here for Gloria Steinem. So let's say I come along here and I say, Gloria Steinem, feminist extraordinaire. Sorry about my spelling here. Okay, that looks correct. Okay. And now we come here and I've got these info cards. One is for Gloria Steinem. Now notice the order here also. It's the 100, the 600s, the 700s. If we go and we look at this record now in Alma, let's go look at this record in Alma. And let's see what's going on. We'll take Gloria Steinem as our example. So here's Gloria Steinem. If I look at the authority record here, now this is using LC names. My environment is set up so my 100s are using LC names, and we don't want to do a whole library science class here, but the 600 here, my second indicator is a 0. It's a Library of Congress subject heading, and that's the one we're looking at here. So if I click now this link to the authority record, I see that this identifier is N8307413, 74143. That's my 010. Typically, it's also in the 035, which it is here, but what Alma's using is a 010. And by the way, everything I'm showing here is in the documentation here at this page, which is referenced in the PowerPoint that you have the link to. So I'm going to come here now, back to Alma. So I'm linked to an authority record which has 010 with 830-74143. I'm going to put that here. And then let's also put in the 100 field while we're here, just so we know what we're talking about. Now, if I come to wikidata.org, so now we're going to go to wikidata.org. I'll leave that one there for later. We can never have too many browser tabs open. So I'm going to go to wikidata.org and also look for Gloria Steinem. Okay. Here's Gloria Steinem. Oh, that's a painting by Gloria Steinem. Here's Gloria Steinem. So within this Wikipedia article, there's a section called identifiers. And these are all the different identifiers. One of these identifiers is from the Library of Congress name authority file. Here we are, the National Library of Congress ID. And if I take this with me, who thinks this is going to be the same exact number as the LC authority record of the bibliographic heading that Alma is linked to? Raise your hand in the chat if you think that's going to be the same exact number. Let's go take a look at the chat. See who's following. Oh, I got to go to participants. Okay. 31 participants. Who thinks now it's going to be the same number? You can send in a chat and say you think so or you don't think so if you can't find the button for raising your hand. Okay, I see people think it's going to be the same number. I think it's going to be the same number too. So now we come back here. This is what we've got in wikidata.org. I'm going to paste that in. And sure enough, 830-74143. So what did Alma do now? Behind the scenes, and this is going exactly to the question here that this person asked, exactly that question. Alma came and said, I have an LC name, I being Alma, I have an LC name linked to a Library of Congress authority record, which is in the community zone. And in the community zone, it had, or it's actually, I should say, in the Library of Congress, because we simply take from the Library of Congress and put it in the community zone. It has identifier 830-74143. Then I see, I still being Alma, I see that in Wikidata, there is an entry for Gloria Steinem, also with Library of Congress Authority identifier 830-74143. Therefore, I'm going to display this as a linked data info card for Gloria Steinem. Let's come back here. That's why this appears. That's why it appears here in this specific place as well. And then when we click here, we get Gloria Steinem, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. An American journalist, social political activist. This is the exact text coming from this Wikipedia article. Here, I'm just going to take a little bit of this. And here's our Wikipedia entries. I'm going to take the English one here. This is important because later we're going to see a case where it doesn't appear. Here we go. Gloria Steinem, an American journalist who emerged as a nationally recognized leader. That's the exact text here, will emerge as a nationally recognized leader. So it took the Alma bibliographic heading, went to the linked authority record, saw that the linked authority record has 830-47143 or whatever that number was, saw that that same number exists in a identifier of type Library of Congress names in Wikidata, made the link, went to the article. This is an important part because later we're going to see one that doesn't show an article, and that's a question that comes up. How come I don't see an article? So it went to that English article here, right here, and then took that and displayed it in the person info card. Also, while we're already on Gloria Steinem, if I come here, it's also here in this case, we have author, lecturer, political activist, feminist, female English. We also have in the Wikipedia article information about that, and we have here all of where these specific fields are coming from, we talk about in here. So when we look at here, born 1943, 1934, March 25th, Toledo. That information is coming from birthplaces, birth dates are coming from these fields. I'm not going to go through each field with an example, but everything is described here. And then if we click here, see more in Wikipedia, it's going to bring us right to that article because we're only displaying here the beginning of it. We're not going to take the entire Wikipedia article and put it there. It's a very long article, very long in her case. So the user can come there. Note that we also state that it's there by license. There's a copyright clearance license. And then again, we've got the titles in the library by Gloria Steinem, the titles in the library about Gloria Steinem, and the people associated with Gloria Steinem. That was a lot of information, but it definitely answered that question. So I'm going to stop for a minute, take a look at the chat, and see if there's any other information or follow-ups about that. Someone said yes. I don't know what that means. Person who said yes, if that was a question. Oh, that was to the thing. Do you think it's going to be the same number? Okay. Okay, someone says most of our records have 100, 600, 700 tags, which match the Swedish Union catalog and use identifiers from that system. Will this be supported in the Primo? Okay, I'm going to copy this. Seema, you're going to relate to a question like this. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm going to put that question here as well. When you speak, if that's correct, I will leave it.
Yes.
Okay, so thank you for that question, and we'll be relating to that in another short amount of time when we turn this over to Seema. Now, I want to show another example where we don't have the Wikipedia article, and then I want to explain why we don't have the Wikipedia article. Because someone eventually will be checking this out, researching, and there won't be a Wikipedia article, and they wouldn't think something doesn't work. They know Alma better than that, but they won't be knowing why they don't see the English article. So let's do a search here. We'll start with a search. Let's take Papuchi Wilediaka Udoska. Okay, I've already got it here. So it's giving me now Polish archaeologist. Previously, we looked at the famous Polish poet. And notice here, it's saying that it's bringing me info from Wikidata. It says Library of Congress name, authority, and Wikidata, but I don't have the article from Wikidata. So Alma's saying this person exists in Wikidata, but Alma is not showing me one of the records by this person. And let's go titles in the library by. Okay, I'm going to go titles by. Let's take a bronze steelyard with an acorn. A bronze steelyard with an acorn. Okay, same thing here. When I come in, I have here that it's bringing me from Wikidata, but I don't have any Wikidata information there, and I don't have the Wikidata information here. So let's see what's going on with this Udoska Papuchi Wilatica. And let's here also get a bronze steelyard. And let's go look at this record. And let's again go step by step. The linking, the bringing the information from Wikidata, and then what's going on here. So here's the author. And we also have another one here we can look at. So when I click here, I get my authority record. And my authority record has this 100 field and has 91003534 as the identifier. Let's put those down over here. We're starting a new one now. So now we've got that 100, that 10 on that 100 in the Library of Congress authority record, which is in the community zone. Then if I go look for this Eudoxia papuchi wilatica in Wikidata, I find the person. Can anyone tell me, just looking at this, how come I don't have the English Wikipedia article in Alma? I'm going to go look at the chat. Try to engage the audience here. Anyone know why we don't have the article in Alma? That's right. Yep, because only Polish. Right. Thank you, Kinga. So, because here we only have the article in Polish. When previously, let me duplicate this tab. When previously we had searched for Gloria Steinem and we saw the article for Gloria Steinem, we went to the English one here. Somewhere here, there's one that says EN. One of these is English. Help me out here. Right here. So we went to this one, and then we saw that that was the one displaying in Alma. However, in the case of Eudoxia, we only have the Polish. Therefore, we don't have anything to display here inside Alma. Okay, let's talk now about if someone wants to analyze this, analyze how are our people using Alma. Actually, I saw there was another chat question there. Someone says, in Austria, we use GND. So we need to connect it with the GND number question mark. Seema, I believe you will be discussing that one as well. So let's save that one. I will put that one here. In fact, I think I will rearrange this. And these will be Seema questions. I'll make sure you got enough time, Seema. I'll just do one more thing. So there's also the issue, we might want to know, are our users really using this? By the way, regarding our users really using this, something very interesting has happened. since we implemented this. And those who are on, there's a linked open data email list. There's the Alma list. May have seen this. Since we started implementing this, people have institutions who have staff members or faculty who publish, who have already an authority record in Library of Congress, have been creating Wikidata articles so that it will appear in the linked data. So we're actually, I don't know if it was intentional at the beginning, we're causing more Wikidata articles to be created because places know that their faculty members are in Library of Congress, know that they have the data linked to it, the bibliographic headings linked there, so they've been creating the Wikidata articles. In any case, within Primo Analytics, let me pop over to that section here. And everything that I've been showing is in here, so you can go through the PowerPoint as well. If we come here, I'm going to release all of these. Come into Analytics. I've got a pre-made report here ready, but we can be creative and create a new one. I went into Alma Analytics. Sorry about that. Access Analytics Primo. So I've got a pre-made one here called Primo Exploration for Related Persons, but we can create a new one as well. Let's take a look at this, then we'll create our own. So what do we see here? I'm in the Primo Action Usage subject area, and I've got, let's go into the criteria tab first. So within the action types folder, we have a new action group, which is called exploration. In fact, let's make a brand new one. We got time. Create analysis. So we're going to choose the Primo action usage subject area. And let's go to the action types. Let's go to the action group. Let's filter by the action group. And let's say we want exploration. The exploration is the part that relates to the linked data. So I'm going to filter it just by that. That's our only filter right now. And I'm going to put in the action subgroup and the action. We're going to do some filtering later. I'm just throwing everything out there for now. And I'm going to get the number of actions. And that's really all I want right now. Then we'll start filtering a little more. So we see that within the exploration, we've got all different kinds of exploration. And the one that's relevant for us is the related persons. So now we're going to filter by the action group, action subgroup example, related persons. So we'll say action subgroup filter, and this will be by related persons. And now we can see the usage of this. And then I can start putting in dates, and I can see the growth, or maybe the lack of growth. Let's put in the month number, by the way, just for the fun. I'm going to put in the month number and the month year. Let's say I want to see, is there any kind of growth or changes at all among people clicking on show more on the relate? No, that's not a nice one. Click the link from the auto. Oh, that's nice. How many people are clicking the link from the autocomplete to the full person page? So that's, for example, here in Primo, how many people, if I look for Schneier Zalman of Liadi, that I just clicked on the link of the autocomplete. Let's say I want to know how many people are doing that. So I'm going to say click on the link from the autocomplete to the first page. I'm going to filter by that action. Filter. Let's do it this way. Click on the link from the autocomplete to the first page. So now that's the only one I'm displaying. So we had a lot, a little, a lot. No, we don't see a real growth here, but we do see what's going on here. Someone asked if you have access to this report. This is a report that I just made on the spot. There is not an out-of-the-box default report on this, but you do have access to come in. This is already in Primo. I'm in a regular standard November release, October release. I'm not in a development environment. What I'm showing here, everyone can do on their own. I could, if I wanted to get fancy here, add a line graph, but it's really not going to show anything exciting because I had a lot, a little, a lot, a little. I didn't see any growth. But I'm in a standard demo environment here. In a typical real environment, I can foresee this growing nicely. All right. Let me just go see the chats here. I think I saw a chat, another one for you, Seema. So someone asked, do we have access to this report? We have access. Someone says, we only have a license. All right, I'm going to leave this one for Seema. Seema, I'm going to paste this one in the Seema questions about the Primo Classic, etc. I think I've got all of the other questions here. If anyone asked a question and I didn't answer it, feel free to send it in. And Seema, take it away. I will stop sharing. You can share if you'd like, or if you want me
Oh,
to keep
Yoel,
sharing.
that would be great if you could go back to the presentation, to the only
Okay.
slide that I have there.
Oh, you want to go to your slide? Okay.
Yes, to the
So hold on
roadmap
one
slide,
moment.
and we'll cover everything from there.
Okay, great.
Thank you so much. Okay, thanks everyone. Thank you, Yoel. After the exciting presentation of the link open data in Primo VE, we wanted to provide you with a glance into what we are going to release in the near future and what our directions, what we're thinking about releasing. Before that, before focusing on the roadmap, I'll just answer the Primo Classic question. Link Open Data Person is not available in Primo Classic. This is available only for Primo VE users. This is part of the NDE of the Next Discovery Experience that we are implementing in Primo VE, and this is not going to be part of Primo Classic. Yoel, can you move on to the next slide, please? Perfect. Thank you. Okay, so we haven't finalized yet our concrete roadmap for 2025, but we do know what we're going to do in the first quarter of the year. We are finalizing the roadmap these days. Once it will be published, you will be able to see what exactly is going to be enhanced in the area of the link open data. So in the first quarter of the year, the first thing that we planned to do, and actually following the question you raised, I already mentioned that the view level activation is going to be available already in December, before next year. It's going to be available in December release. You will be able to activate link open data person in the view setup and not only in the institution. This is following your feedback about having wanting the capabilities to test it in view level, and the fact that there are quite different libraries with different needs. So we decided to add it also in the view level. The next enhancement in the first quarter will answer two of your questions. We're going to add an integration with VIAF to support additional vocabularies beyond Library of Congress. As you all mentioned, we're currently working with authorities with bibliographic records that are linked to Library of Congress. We got a lot of feedback about this since May, since the major release of the link open data, especially European customers that are working with different authorities wanted to be able to also work with the link open data. That's why we are going to enrich the mapping. It's not going to enrich the sources, but the mapping. Starting from February, vocabularies that are included in VIAF and also in the CZ, in the community zone, are going to allow bibliographic record that are linked to those authorities to gain and to be part of the link open data. You asked about GND. bibliographic records that are linked to GND will be able to get the link open data enhancements. You asked about Libris. I just checked and I didn't see it in the VF. VF if it's the virtual international authority file. Libris, I didn't see it there, but I did see the National Library of Sweden, the SELIBR. So it might be the same. I'm not sure, Yoel, maybe you know if Libris and this
Well, let's
Swedish
have the person
authorities.
who asked us, that would be the most appropriate to clarify.
That's a good idea. Maybe you can clarify
Um,
if this is included in VF and if you are familiar with the other Swedish authorities.
okay,
No, I don't see
okay, I
about it.
don't see him continuing to add.
Okay.
I don't want to
Feel
say its
free to
name
post in the
because we
chat.
try to keep privacy. Okay, yeah, it's the
Yeah.
same thing. Libris and National Library of Sweden is same. Yes.
Perfect. Okay, so it is part of the VF. The mapping is going to be implemented this way that the authority, the vocabularies that are included in VF and the CZ are going to be part of the link open data in Primo V. This is the first quarter of the year. After that, we haven't finalized yet, and we are running already few proof of concepts in order to understand the estimation and the feasibility of some enhancements that we are thinking of. The first one actually is going to be there for sure. Link open data is going to be included in the NDE UI. You probably know, the Primo VE customers at least know that during the next year, we're going to release the new UI, the NDE UI for Primo VE. Link open data is going to be included. It is going to have better, not better, different, let's say, user experience. We might have a little changes to the functionalities, to the performance of the link open data, this kind of things. So this is the first thing that we are doing in the second quarter of the year and beyond. Expansion to support additional languages. This is something that was raised by Yoel previously. You saw that we are finding linkage, we are displaying and allowing pages only for English at this stage. We're not providing any multilingual capabilities for the link open data. We would like to expand it and to take additional languages from Wikidata. We are running a proof of concept on this and see the estimations, and we are checking if we are capable doing this in the next year. CDI integration with ORCID. Currently, as you had mentioned, this is the link open data in Primo VE is relevant only for local records. For the end user, we understand you. You provided a lot of feedback on this. This is seamless to the user. What is CDI and what is local? They want to see everything aligned, and we totally understand it. The thing is that CDI is using different identifiers, and we are checking how we can work with maybe ORCID or maybe different identifiers. And of course, we will need a new source of data because Library of Congress and Wikidata will not be might be not relevant here. We are running a proof of concept on this one as well, and we will check if we are capable adding it in the next year. New entity types such as location. We're checking adding additional entity types beyond subjects. Present linked beyond persons. Present link data entities for digital assets. So this is an interesting one. You probably heard Specto, the next generation, the next gen solution for digital collections that Exlibris Clarivate are developing these days. It was announced in Illuna and in Igloo. So Specto extracts people from images and text files. Once it will be implemented for customers, the linkage between resources and materials and authorities will be established. And using Specto, you will be able to present the entities for digital assets in Primo VE person functionality. This is going to be relevant, of course, for customers that will use Specto. The last bullet is going to be relevant for customers that will be using Specto. The roadmap was not finalized yet. We're still working on it. That's why I mentioned here that those are for the second quarter and beyond. Those are potential enhancements. Once the roadmap will be finalized, you will be able to know what exactly is going to be added in the next year in the area of the link open data. Do we have any further questions?
Let's go take a look at the chat here and see what
And
we got. I don't see anything else. Someone says, sounds good. Then we get the Finnish FINAF authorities linked.
as long as this is part this Finnish authority vocabulary, as long as this is part of the VIAF and the CZ, then it will be included. Yes.
Okay. Let me just paste this in here to make sure. I want to make sure there's no misunderstandings on these last three comments so people won't say, but you said whatever. Let me get rid of these from. Sorry about that. Okay, so same. Okay, so these are the same. You want to clarify this, Seema, just so they won't.
Then we get the Finnish. Yeah, we are. I need to check for this exact vocabulary, but if this is part of the VIAF and the CZ, then it will be
Yeah,
included.
they are in the CZ.
Perfect. So and VIAF we need also.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yes,
Okay. All right.
perfect.
Any other questions? Someone did ask another question, which I didn't point out. Someone said,
I see a
I think
question
I
about the
heard some.
NDEUI. Yoel, if that's okay, I will address it.
Oh, go ahead.
Sure. So we are working on a new UI for Primo VE. There are already dev partners for these customers that are that wanted to contribute and to be part of this huge development. We are doing a new UI for all pages of Primo, new user experience, some changes in the flows, and
And
this
the
is going to
analytics
be
will change with it to the
the
mixed panel.
analytics is going to be totally different. We are going to use a new
January
system.
15th, you got the 2025 roadmap webinar series. Let me make sure that's January 12th. That I said the right date here. The Alma 2025 roadmap webinar series will be showing that, which is part of the new
25.
UI. 25 roadmap webinar series. Oh, there we go. It's already there.
Yeah, so Yoel is going to talk about the
Yeah,
mix panel, a
January
new
15th.
engagement, a new analytics system that is going to replace OBI, and this is going to be great, allowing to see the user journey. And of course, Yoel will talk about it much more in depth. This is going to be bind to the NDEUI, the new user experience. You will be able to implement the new UI at your own pace whenever you feel convenient with it. You will be testing it first, of course, and then the go live will be up to each customer separately.
Okay, there was one other question which we didn't get, and I will answer that now. It says someone was told there's a limit of how many records appear. That's true. We limit. Someone says, I think I heard somewhere there's a limit on the number of titles by link from the info card. Correct. We show 5 now. If we have, for example, a record with 2,600 fields and 2,700 fields and 100 field, we show up to 5 in the Primo info cards. I don't know if you have anything you want to add on that, Seema, but feel free if you do.
No, thank you.
Okay. All right. So thank you, everybody. It's exactly end of the session. We will be posting the recording to YouTube. We'll be posting it also on that page, on the 2024 Roadmap Webinar Series page. We'll send out a notice to the Alma list when that's been posted. And we hope to see you in the 2025 Roadmap Webinar Series. Take care and have a nice day.
Thank you. Bye bye.